A new study led by investigators from Mass General Brigham has found that ChatGPT was about 72% accurate in overall clinical decision making, from coming up with possible diagnoses to making final diagnosis and care management decisions. The large language model (LLM) artificial intelligence chatbot performed equally well in both primary care and emergency settings across all medical specialties. The research team's results are published in the Journal of Medical Internet Research. The researcher says that their paper comprehensively assesses decision support via ChatGPT from the very beginning of working with a patient through the entire care scenario, from differential diagnosis all the way through testing, diagnosis, and management. Changes in artificial intelligence technology are occurring at a fast pace and transforming many industries, including healthcare. But the capacity of LLMs to assist in the full scope of clinical care has not yet been studied. In this comprehensive cross-specialty study of how LLMs could be used in clinical advisement and decision making, the research team tested the hypothesis that ChatGPT would be able to work through an entire clinical encounter with a patient and recommend a diagnostic workup, decide the clinical management course, and ultimately make the final diagnosis. The study was done by pasting successive portions of 36 standardized published clinical vignettes into ChatGPT. The tool first was asked to come up with a set of possible or differential diagnoses based on the patient's initial information, which included age, gender, symptoms, and whether the case was an emergency. ChatGPT was then given additional pieces of information and asked to make management decisions as well as give a final diagnosis, simulating the entire process of seeing a real patient. The team compared ChatGPT's accuracy on differential diagnosis, diagnostic testing, final diagnosis, and management in a structured blinded process, awarding points for correct answers and using linear regressions to assess the relationship between ChatGPT's performance and the vignette's demographic information. The researchers found that overall ChatGPT was about 72% accurate and that it was best in making a final diagnosis, where it was 77% accurate. It was lowest performing in making differential diagnosis, where it was only 60% accurate. And it was only 68% accurate in clinical management decisions, such as figuring out what medications to treat the patient with after arriving at the correct diagnosis. Other notable findings from the study included that ChatGPT's answers did not show gender bias and that its overall performance was steady across both primary and emergency care. The authors note that before tools like ChatGPT can be considered for integration into clinical care, more benchmark research and regulatory guidance is needed. Next, the research team is looking at whether AI tools can improve patient care and outcomes in hospitals' resource-constrained areas. The emergence of artificial intelligence tools in health has been groundbreaking and has the potential to positively reshape the continuum of care.